So this week we got new developer and public betas, we got some new leaks and rumors about the new fine woven or tech woven cases that should be coming out. And even though we're about 2 weeks away, assuming September 9th is going to be the iPhone event day, this is usually the calm before the storm, but a lot of things have happened in the Apple world. Let's talk about all those, and some of them might surprise you, like Apple Watch getting Touch ID. Let's talk about it. But now, if you do enjoy videos like this one where we keep you up to date on all things Apple, consider subscribing to the channel because it motivates us to make more videos like this. But now let's talk about the Apple Watch getting Touch ID and what that means. So last week we discussed that the Apple Watch Ultra 3 should be releasing in September of this year with a new design getting a larger display, smaller bezels, some satellite connectivity, and a bunch of other things that are just going to be great quality of life improvements overall. But we got some information that possibly in 2026, so this would be probably the Apple Watch Series 12, there's going to be something like Touch ID from a biometric unlock standpoint built directly into the Apple Watch. Now this comes up because we have some leak code that references something called Apple Messa, which is basically tied to Touch ID and it's going to be tied to the 2026 Apple Watch models. And what exactly that means, or I guess what would be the benefit of having Touch ID on the Apple Watch? Leave a comment down below if you see a use case where that would benefit more so than something like the passcode or something like the double tap to unlock when you are using the ecosystem. But again, this potentially could replace the passcodes overall for unlocks and also Apple ID purchases or Apple Pay purchases. And it could also be integrated into the digital crown, the side button, or under the glass itself. So we don't know if it's going to be the Touch ID that we have something like on the iPad, or if it's going to be more so of a Touch ID that we have something on the MacBook Pros, or maybe an under-display fingerprint scanner as well that we see in a lot of different Android phones. So let's see exactly what Apple does with this. I think they're going to add it to the side, and I think it's just going to be an extra kind of biometric unlock when it comes to Apple Pay, and also if you use your Apple Watch to unlock some of your iDevices, because I know that I use it to unlock things like my Mac, I use it to unlock my iPhone, so maybe being able to unlock it without having to put the passcode in is going to be a little bit more beneficial because it reduces a little bit of friction, because in order to have those ecosystem moments, you need to have a passcode, and being able to use Touch ID would replace that completely, which would be nice. So let me know if that's something that you want out of an Apple Watch, or if you think this is extra for no reason, because I could go either way with it. And then in that same light, Apple brought back the blood oxygen sensor capabilities to the Apple Watch Series 10 and the Apple Watch Ultras that were sold during the time period where they had to remove it. So if you guys were unaware, I did a whole video which I'll link down below, but to give you guys a synopsis, it was removed back in December of 2023. The blood oxygen sensor capabilities were removed from the Apple Watches because of this Massimo patent dispute that was happening, where they were saying that the way that they processed the data was infringing on their patent. So Apple basically had to remove a bunch of Apple Watches during the holiday season, and they couldn't sell them for a certain period until with software they turned them off. So they didn't remove the actual sensor from any of the Apple Watches, so all the Apple Watches that have been purchased since that patent dispute still had the sensor on it, they just weren't able to be turned on. You might notice that you do have the blood oxygen sensor application still on your Apple Watch, even if you aren't updated, but it doesn't let you actually do anything with it. But now there's a little bit of a workaround here that Apple has enabled. So if you're on 18.6.1 or newer, that includes the most recent iOS 26 beta update, you will be able to have your blood oxygen readings read and stored on your iPhone. So of course, the sensors used on your Apple Watch, but then you go to your iPhone to check on the actual data that happens with that. So that is now turned on for all the people that bought Apple Watches during the time where the actual sensor wasn't allowed. For example, if you purchased the very first Apple Watch Ultra, that has the blood oxygen sensor, and they weren't forced to remove the blood oxygen capabilities on older ones, only for new ones and the ones that were currently sold, but now it's been fixed with 18.6.1. Another really nice one that ties into some of the subjects that we've dealt with this week, which has to do with the Apple Wallet, is that Amazon has actually updated their return policy to allow for you to have that little QR code to initiate returns stored into your Apple Wallet. So whenever you do initiate a return with Amazon, you're usually sent an email, or in the application itself, there's a QR code that you have to give to whoever the delivery person is or whoever the courier is to be able to scan that and then print out the return label and then send it off. But now you can actually store that directly on your Apple Wallet to access it much easier. So it makes the drop-offs just a little bit more frictionless. And then on top of that, with the Apple Wallet getting the new tracking API that's in there and being able to track your orders directly in the Wallet app, iOS 26, once you do get updated, will be able to track your Amazon orders, which is something that wasn't possible before. So again, just more ease of use, more native connectivity, which I'm very happy with. And then of course, we're getting closer and closer to that Apple keynote, like I mentioned, so even more leaks and rumors are coming out, and Majin Buu on Twitter, I'm going to leave his handle down below, has been instrumental in getting a lot of this stuff I don't know where he's getting it from, where it's coming from, but the most recent update is these new tech woven cases. So Apple went away from their leather cases for environmental reasons a couple years ago. Then they introduced the fine woven cases, which ended up being a gigantic flop. They were very expensive, they would wear very, very poorly, and they would leave markings on your pant. It was just a complete mess. They discontinued them after 1 year, but now this year, with the iPhone 17 lineup, they're coming out with the tech woven cases, which should be an upgraded material. I'm not 100% sure. They look very similar to the fine woven cases, but you can see with some of the images that it really shows off exactly how big this camera bump or this camera bar or visor or whatever we're going to call it is, especially on the Pro Max phones. But that's something that has been leaked, so definitely expect that to be released alongside the iPhones come September. And leave a comment down below which iPhone you plan on getting and when you think Tim Cook will be stepping on stage to announce all the new iPhones. And then finally, I want to bring up maybe the top 3 deals that are happening right now on Apple products, especially on Amazon. For example, the M4 MacBook Air, the baseline model with 16 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage is $799. That's $200 cheaper than the retail price that Apple will sell it to you for, so definitely jump on that if you can, which is going to be the best bang for buck when it comes to any laptop in the market right now. And then similarly, the M4 Mac Mini is $499 on Amazon, so if you want to jump on that one, it's $100 cheaper compared to the retail pricing directly from Apple. And again, these are still fulfilled by Apple. These are brand new Apple products, sealed by Apple. These aren't refurbished or returns or any random product. This is directly from Apple. If you go into Amazon, you see who the seller is, it is Apple. So I'm not 100% sure how they're able to cut the price down by that much compared to how Apple does it. But again, I'm not going to complain when it's a good deal for the end consumer. And then lastly, kind of an interesting one, the M3 iPad Air, the 11-inch one with cellular data and 1 terabyte of storage. Again, a little bit overkill, but there is a market for it. Right now on Amazon, it's $890. Normally, it's $1,300 directly from Apple, which saves you about $400 overall. So if you are in the market for a M3 iPad Air, so if you are in the market for an iPad with cellular connectivity and you like to have a lot of onboard storage, this one for $400 cheaper than directly from Apple could be the way to go. So definitely, I'll leave all those linked down below if you are on the market for any of those things. But that will do it for this video, everybody. If you made it to the end, leave a little dolphin in the comments down below so I know you made it to the end. I'm just excited for this calm before the storm to end and get us over to iPhone season in September. But that'll do it, everybody. If you want to watch more videos like this one and stay up to date, maybe watch a little Apple Wallet stuff, click on one of these videos right here. Until next time, I'm Fernando. Peace, everyone.